Good afternoon, welcome back to the Word Celtic Fans View this afternoon. There's been a little bit of an update when it comes to the Celtic manager's job. We're just going to jump straight in. If you are interested in betting, you can actually make money betting on the Celtic manager. If you click the link that's in the description and go to outplayed.com, and you'll get it through the first link where you will get a free membership, and they'll teach you how to make money with free bets. And if you're into betting, give it a try. You'll get a free. Everybody likes something for free money to free bet, and you can win off it. Anyway, let's get the update before that on the next Celtic manager. Craig Bellamy has been linked with Celtic. Will he leave the Wales job beforehand though? I don't think so. Kieran McKenna is still favourite at 6-5. Robbie Keane is 72. Ange Postecoglou is 5-1, but it's looking more unlikely now than ever. And you've got to remember, Ange has just made £7 million or something for 39 days' work. He's in no rush to get back into football. He could go and sit on a Greek island in the sun and pester Greg Taylor on the phone if he wants. Kevin Muscat. Now this is an interesting one because Kevin Muscat's old next door neighbour is John Higgins. And John Higgins has seats in the club Celtic Lounge at Celtic Park. And he reckons that Muscat could be on the shortlist, and it could be waiting to go to Celtic. Celtic could be waiting until the season finishes in Japan before they make their move for Muscat. And then you've got Kudson, who's at 91. Craig Bellamy is also at 91. Craig Bellamy has been mentioned due to his exploits with Wales. There's an international break coming up in November, and it'll be decided then if Craig Bellamy stays with the national team, because if they qualify for the World Cup, Craig Bellamy will not walk out on the national team. So I think that one could be a little bit of left field, that one. Sean Maloney, he's 12-1, but he said that he's not going to take it. Martin O'Neill is also 14-1, but he said he's not going to take it. Nicky Haynes 16-1, and Wilfred Nancy is 18-1 from the US of A, managing at the moment. So tell me what you think about those. It's an interesting one with news coming out today that Brendan Rodgers is in Brazil. Her name is Rio, and she's dancing in this. I mean, he managed to just book a flight to Brazil and fuck off to get away from any media. But it's been said that he's going to the game on Sunday. Who's he going to the game on Sunday with? The war of words at Celtic is not over yet. That is for sure. The war of words. Muscat is in China, not Japan. Well, there you go. I mean, it really cares. I don't think Muscat will be anywhere near Celtic, to be fair. Bellamy had no connection to Celtic. He wouldn't be in the running. Says football life. Frank McAvenny seems to think that Mancini wants to come here. There's going to be. I mean, if you think about before Brendan Rodgers took the job and before Ange took the job, especially before Ange took the job, I mean, we were linked with a lot of these people before. We were linked with the Bobo Glint manager years ago. That never came off. We ended up going to Ange. When it comes to it, I don't think any decisions will be made this week. The fact that you've got a certain man at Celtic tracking the likes of Craig Bellamy kind of tells me that I'm not too sure. And it's going to come down to, if it is Tisdale that's putting forward the manager's names, well, Tisdale was the man that seemingly put forward the players to Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers, if he does come back to Scotland, well, he will do because he's got a house here. But if he does go to Hampden Park at the weekend, is that a statement by him? Is that him trying to get in front of a TV camera or media type people to give his version of events? And if he does, will it be explosive? Could it rip Celtic apart at the seams and get even more change going on? When you look at the statement that Celtic put out today, Celtic finally did put out a statement with regards to changes of the staff. We're on today, Celtic FC coaching staff update by Celtic Football Club. Nobody taking responsibility for this one, is there? Nobody's putting their name to this at all. Celtic Football Club confirmed today that assistant manager John Kennedy and coaches Adam Sandler, Jack Lyons, head of performance Glenn Driscoll have left the club with immediate effect. We'd like to thank every one of them for their contribution. We wish them well for the future. We're pleased to welcome former captain Stephen McManus. McManus was already at the club. Former Celtic player Mark Fotheringham to our first team coaching setup. They will join Martin O'Neill, Sean Maloney on an interim basis alongside coaches Stephen Woods, Gavin Strachan and Greg Wallace. I thought the TV chef was doing stuff on Twitter and TikTok now. Thought I'd get that one in there before anyone else did. Anyway, that's the update when it comes to the manager. I don't think that we're going to get a manager announcement anytime soon from Celtic. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be well into November now. If Celtic have got a habit of dragging their heels with this type of thing. Do you know, if they do want to go for Kieran McKenna, make a move for him. If it's going to cost us £5 million, so be it. If that's the man that you want and that's the man that you're decided on, seemingly there's not been anyone contacted as yet by Celtic, and no one has been sounded out in private either. It's just been they're drawing up a list. The way that these things happen, you know, agents of all the managers will have had some kind of conversation with an intermediary from Celtic to say, look, would they be interested in the job? You know, Celtic maybe not went as far as that, but it may be more the case that Celtic are interested in talking to you. Would you like to talk to them? Is the way that the conversation would normally go. But anyway, Kieran McKenna is still up there as the favourite. I can't see Ange getting the job. He's just made that much money that it's been suggested that he's not even looking at returning to football just now. He's going to take some time out. If you think about it, he moved away from the other side of the world. He came to Celtic, and then went to Spurs. He had a couple of months off, went to some international football. So he'd be well within his rights to spend some time with his family. Tell me what you think in the comment section. And it's going to be an interesting one tonight when we get the first team that Martin O'Neill has picked in over 20 years. Anyway, Robbie Keane for me. Anyone else? There is one option. Sky Bet's got Muscat at 4-1 now, out of nowhere. That does kind of go with the rumour that's going around from the well, he's still a snooker player, isn't he? He is still a snooker player, so. But there is one option that a certain ex-Celtic goalkeeper spoke about today. Look, forget about Robbie Keane, forget about Craig Bellamy. If you want an up-and-coming manager, you know, you're speaking about all these fantastic managers. Go for Scott Brown. That would be an interesting one if Celtic decided to go for Scott Brown over these other up-and-coming managers that have kind of done a bit more in the game compared to Scott Brown. Anyway, that's it for this afternoon. Make sure you join me tonight an hour and a half before kick-off. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Who do you want as manager? Tell me in the comment section.